In this video, we'll be looking at creating mood, atmosphere and tension through word choices. We'll be doing this with Arlo the author. Arlo the author is the clever canine who helps us to identify and explain how meaning is enhanced through choice of words and phrases. Sometimes an author might use show not tell in their writing. This means that they're showing you that something is happening without specifically telling you that it is happening. For example, a text might say, "A smile spread across his face." This shows us that the character is feeling happy without telling us that the character is feeling happy. Show not tell can be used to describe the mood of a story or a character, to describe the atmosphere, or to build tension in a piece of writing. Arlo can help you to spot this kind of writing and explain the effect that it has on the reader or the text. Now let's take a look at our first extract of text from the beginning of a story called The Weather Watcher. Maeve stood still as she looked out at the dark clouds swirling above the house. Her gaze was fixed and steady, but inside, her stomach was twisting and turning. "It will be okay," she said to the empty room. "It won't happen again. She faltered before continuing at a whisper. "Can't happen again." Tearing herself away from the window, Maeve walked towards a dusty, locked cabinet at the edge of the room. Hands shaking, she placed a small key in the lock and hastily pulled the contents into her jacket pocket. In the text, it says, "Inside her stomach was twisting and turning." What does this tell you about how Maeve is feeling? A top tip would be to imagine that you were in the story. If your stomach was twisting and turning, how might you be feeling? Does that answer fit with the rest of the story? In this text, the author is showing us that Maeve is feeling nervous, anxious, or worried. Can you find another example in the text that shows the reader that Maeve is feeling nervous? Well done if you said that Maeve was faltering when speaking or that her hands were shaking when she turned the key. These descriptions help the reader to understand Maeve's mood. They also help to build tension by showing the reader that something worrying might be about to happen. Now let's take a look at some more Arlo the author questions about creating mood, atmosphere or tension through word choices. For our first question, you are being asked to think about the author's choice of words and how they are being used to describe the atmosphere surrounding the storm. Pause your video now and read through the new extract of text and the question. Press play when you are ready to hear the answer. Have you read the new extract? Great. The question says, in this extract, the word blissfully suggests that those who are too young, number 1, are lucky not to remember, number 2, are upset not to remember, number 3, have forgotten what's happened, or number 4, are happy about the last storm. For this question, you'll need to think about why the author has chosen the word blissfully and what effects they wanted it to have. Let's start by finding the word in the text and reading the sentence around it. Only those too young at the time of the last storm were blissfully unaware of what was about to happen. What impression is the author trying to give you of the storm? Do they want it to appear frightening or safe? Which option best fits with the atmosphere that the author is trying to create? Well done if you said number 1, are lucky not to remember. This option helps to show the reader that the last storm is something that people wish they couldn't remember. For this next question, you're being asked to explain how the author builds tension throughout the extract. You may wish to write your answer down on a piece of paper or a whiteboard, or you might just wish to say your answer out loud. Top tip, you have been given 3 lines to write your answer. This means that you'll need to write an extended answer that contains at least one example from the text. If you would like time to read through the extract again, pause the video now and hit play when you are ready to hear the answer. What do you think? How does the author use the description to build tension? This question is subjective, so you may have a different answer to the example answer. Subjective means based on your own ideas or opinions. The example answer says that the author talks about the storm gathering strength, which shows you that it is getting worse. They then talk about people who could remember the last storm beginning to beg for compassion, which makes you feel as though something frightening is going to happen when the storm does get bigger. Well done if you were able to describe how the author built tension and you remembered that you needed to use examples from the text to support your answer. For our final question, you are being asked to describe the mood of the town when the final storm hit. You will need to find evidence from the text to back up your answer. You may wish to write your answer down on a whiteboard or a piece of paper, or you may just wish to say your answer out loud. Pause your video now and hit play when you have read through the extract and have an answer. Do you have an answer? Great. Remember, there are many different ways to answer this question. Your answer might be different to the example one shown on the screen. The example answer says, when the storm hit, the mood in the town was fear and disappointment. In the text, it says that people would wince and shudder when remembering it happening, which shows that it would have been something frightening. They were also expecting the weather watcher to help, so when he didn't, people would have felt disappointed. Well done if you answered that question correctly. If you're looking for any more English videos just like this one, make sure you head to the Twinkl website to check them out. See you next time.